What woman would want to turn this down? No woman. No woman would want to turn it down. Welcome back to Life and Hair. Today I want to delve into the world of toppers. Well, actually one particular one. Look at this beauty. Oh, it's a different kind of box to the wigs that I've been getting. This is the Top Smart 18-inch topper by Jon Renau, and the colour is 8RH14. I've never tried this before. What I'm going to do is I am going to put my makeup on, change my clothes, and I'm going to talk about how this topper makes me feel and what it brings to my life. I hope that you enjoy this review. Okay, so I've done a little bit of makeup just now, and I wanted to point out that one of the reasons why I started to have hair enhancements is because I found that on those times when I was going out, going to dinner, going to the pub, going out to dinner with my husband, I was putting on makeup, but of course with my fine lackluster hair that took an absolute age to wash and dye and dry and set and all sorts of things, and then quite frankly the finished result was not something that I was proud of. I found that my entire look was completely being let down by not enough hair, and there is no disguising not enough hair. You know, I could curl it. It's naturally curly and frizzy anyway. When I had more hair, it used to frame my face. It was a point of interest. It enhanced my overall look. It finished off my look. It made me look more feminine and more attractive. But when that was gone and I no longer could have that, I found that no matter what I did, no matter what makeup I had, no matter what nice clothes or jewellery that I wore, that there was something missing and I didn't feel confident, and I felt that, I won't say judged by other people, but when I go out wearing hair enhancement and when I don't go out wearing hair enhancement, I do notice a difference between the two of how people look at me, view me, treat me. I mean, I don't know whether you know what I mean, what I'm talking about, whether you've had the same kind of experience, but do any of you feel the same? I do notice that people are friendlier, dare I say it? Maybe it's in my imagination. Maybe it's the fact that I'm feeling more confident, that I'm the one who's more friendly and more outgoing. At any rate, that the end result is deeper connection with other people and a deeper connection with myself. And I understand those who say it doesn't matter what you look like, it doesn't matter what you have and haven't got. It's how you feel about yourself that counts. And I'm in total agreement with that. I've done a lot of work on myself over the years. And now I've just turned 52. I feel like I like myself. I feel at peace with myself. But I also feel like when I want to go out and put on my public face, I want to do it on my own terms. And I want to look how I would like myself to look. Maybe how I remember myself looking, or what I think would finish off my look well. I'm not really one who's put a lot of emphasis on my looks or my fashion. I had been overweight for a long time, and now I feel I'm getting back to a normal weight due to my vertical sleeve gastrectomy last year. There is no video that goes recorded that I don't mention that, because it's been a real life changer for me. However, I wanted to show you the before. I'm going to take this ponytail down and straighten my hair, and then I am going to apply the topper, and we will take it from there and see what you think. Okay, not such a glamorous look still, but basically I have straightened my hair, and with the straightening iron I've kind of curved it in a little bit, and I've taken the back section and twisted it and clipped it with one of these clips, these type of clips. And when you close these clips, they sort of curve like that, so that it's got the curve, you know, on the top of my head, so hopefully it's not going to damage the monofilament top. Now the idea is, when I take that topper out of the box, it's going to have the monofilament top. I don't really want to show it here because the lighting isn't great, but there are so many reviews on YouTube that I'm going to give a mention to, that talk about the structure and the construction of that topper, and where the clips are, and talk about the length of the hair, etc. I'm not going to focus on any of that. I just wanted to show you basically what my hair looks like in preparation for the topper going on. So, ladies and gents, this is the beautiful Top Smart 18-inch Jon Renau in colour 8RH14. So, when I first put this on a few days ago, of course you can imagine the excitement waiting for it to come in the post. It's actually a birthday gift from my husband. He bought it from Simply Wigs online, and I waited not very long and received it. I just clipped it on in the bathroom mirror, got rid of that zigzag, and then looked in the mirror. And I looked at the amazing lace front. And how beautifully well it integrates with my own hair at the sides and of course at the back. So all of this is mine. And when you look at this style, if you were to lean forward or anything like that, all of the hair underneath is going to be your own. And actually, that causes for much less friction and rubbing against your clothes and your collar, which hopefully will then have a positive effect on the longevity of the piece. I did a little bit of experimenting. Let me move you back a little so you can see the top of my head. I did a bit of experimenting, and I really love it sort of with a middle parting like this. I just get hold of that lace front, and in fact I'm going to use the brush for this bit, and I like to brush it back. There is no pulling at all on the hair that's been clipped. It gives, when you brush it back, it gives it a lovely swoop like this, which I absolutely adore. And then it tends to sort of fall where it wants to. I think it's most flattering in a roughly middle parting for me. Now bear in mind, this piece here at the back, at the crown of your head, has got a little bump of permatease. And I can feel it. And it's quite nice because when you wake that permatease up, I can feel it. It's like the size of the palm of my hand, or just smaller. It gives a little bit of an interesting silhouette. I want to show you the back. It's beautifully soft and buttery. Here it is from the right hand side. when you comb it like this with the wide tooth comb, you integrate your own hair really well with it. Now, I have seen some reviews on YouTube where ladies have put on a style that is not wide enough here in the cap. Now, the width of this cap stops here. And that's pretty much halfway down the back of my head. And on the sides, it stops here. So it's covering half of the top of my head. And I've glued down the lace front, and it's quite interesting because there are sort of some rogue hairs there, but quite frankly, they kind of just look like baby hairs, and that suits me really well. The very first wig that I ever bought was the Mila by Jon Renau, and I bought it in this colour, 8RH14. The reason I bought it in this colour is because making that big step to having my first wig, I was so nervous about it. I wanted to hold on to something familiar. And that colour matched my hair colour really well. We've got Penny here. Hi, Penny. Yeah, you're going to join in. And I'm glad that I did that because it allowed me some comfort and some security to start venturing into the world of hair. And my next piece after that was in Caramel Ribbon by Jon Renau. It was the Giselle. And it basically had the same base colour as this. The only difference was that it had really quite distinct caramel highlights added. So I made that first step with my natural hair colour, and I did the same process with starting off with toppers. This is absolutely my first topper. I watched with so much interest people talking and reviewing toppers. There are some wonderful reviews. Tresses did an amazing review. We've got Christina Young Hair Editions. She did the most amazing review on this in a kind of a much blonder colour that was rooted, which matched her own hair absolutely perfectly. Of course, Fabricating Fringe. Hi. She did a beautiful review of this. Georgina Probert she did the wavy version of this. Now bear in mind, they've got the Top Smart Wavy. Lauren P. Locks did a review about the Top Smart also. Sister Wigs. There's no way that I cannot mention this lady, and I'm desperately looking on my phone for her because she did such an amazing review. Do you know, incredibly, I cannot find one of the best reviews that I've seen on the Top Smart, but I'm going to put it on my screen because there's no way that I can't mention her. So yes, so as I was saying, I did the same process with my first topper, and I'm really glad that I did because it's allowed me to match my hair very well. I dye my hair and I've got lots of grey roots which I also have to dye. But it makes me feel like I'm contributing at least something to my hairstyle. I can say, yes, some of this is mine, and it makes me feel quite nice and quite positive and proud of myself to actually have my hair in this picture somewhere. It's a small point, but I find it quite useful. So my husband, when he first saw this and I'd gotten rid of the zigzag and I brushed it back and it was sort of cascading around my face amazingly in such a beautiful way, we were both absolutely amazed at what a difference it made to me. I suddenly dropped about 20 years in age because long, thick healthy, lustrous hair is a sign of youth and fertility, and women value it the world over. There is a fetishistic pleasure in seeing a woman's long, lustrous locks, displaying your feminine beauty, an intrinsic health that you have. And the fact that my own hair plays some small part in this style, I love the fact that I can clip this hair back. Let's have a look to see what I can do and what it would look like. So this part here is all mine. It's got a pretty good colour match because remember, you can see the colour on the underside of the piece, and that's all my own hair, so it kind of integrates quite well. And just as a word of sort of advice, I came to the conclusion that you can, if you are dark haired, you can get a rooted style like this, and if you wanted to have that in a lighter colour, your actual hair would match the rooting quite well. So even if you had it away from your face, it would look like you had dark hair that had been highlighted. That's pretty amazing. And it keeps it off your face really well. You know, if you were doing housework or you were eating, there's nothing stopping you from pulling down some of the front bits, perhaps, if you wanted, and just keeping those side bits up. But yeah, I love the way it feels, you know, the heaviness of the hair at the back. It reminds me of when I had my own hair, and it was sort of, I could feel the heaviness of it on my head, which I absolutely loved. This isn't the neatest bump. Look. There's a little bit of puckering on the lace. I glued it down, and it's just the positioning that isn't quite right. So do excuse that puckering. I don't expect it to be a feature all the time when I have this away from my face. So it's great that you can include your own hairline in this piece somehow. While I'm putting this up, I just want to tell you a little tale about how incredible it is that other people never assume that you're wearing a wig. They always assume that it's your own hair that they're looking at. I've been doing quite a few Zoom calls, and I'll come back to that story. Have a look at this. Yeah, so I've been doing these Zoom calls with the same people regularly, and on one occasion I had Mila on, and then a couple of days later I had a style by Renee of Paris called Kai, which I'm going to show and review pretty soon. And everybody just complimented me on my nice hair, and they said, "Oh, your hair looks nice, you've got a new hairstyle, how wonderful." You know, other than the fact that Mila is, you know, collarbone length beach waves in this colour, and Kai is up here, a blunt bob, dead straight, and it's in the colour Macchiato LR, so it's got dark roots and blonde hair, didn't seem to register with a lot of people. It's amazing. It's amazing that we go out there in our new hair absolutely convinced that everybody that claps eyes on us can clock that we're wearing a wig straight away. I'm telling you, even if you wear 2 different wigs on 2 consecutive days, lots of people won't assume that it's a wig. What they'll assume is that you've done something slightly different, or the fact that you've combed your hair slightly different is bringing out another colour that's already in your hair, in your hairstyle. I'm very grateful for that, and it's something that I need to have reinforced regularly, because our default position is being nervous and worried when we first go out wearing hair. In time, you become more comfortable in your skin with the hair, and you go out and you stop worrying about minor details about it. You just enjoy it. Enjoy what you can see. Enjoy the confidence that it gives you. And I've told you stories so many times before of times I've been in the supermarket, you know, and I've seen these women with their very diffuse loss on the top of their hair. And I've told you before how I've seen just how much it takes away from them. I can feel it and see it in their demeanour. I can see it in their facial expression. Their entire demeanour is somewhat reduced in confidence, and I can understand that. Now, one of the reasons why I showed you my makeup with just my ponytail at the beginning of this video is to demonstrate what additional hair can bring to the party. It brings a lot of colour around your face, an intensity and depth of colour that you don't have when you've got your hair scraped back. There is all of this space, so, you know, a couple of fingers away from your face is filled with movement, with luster, with colour and highlights, which can be played with to your heart's content. This particular colour is truly one of my favourite. It's a very natural colour. It's not a flat brunette. There are some colours which are just one colour, you know, 8 or 10. But even they have got that luster of other glints of colour coming through. Incredibly realistic and so cleverly done. I absolutely adore looking at all the different colours from the different wig manufacturers. Now this one does have blonde highlights in it, and it's about 33% blonde highlights. They place them so cleverly, and they always make sure that there's something around the face to give your hair texture. I think, look at this one there. And interest and realism in the most delightful way. I'm really enjoying the layers in this. Now the layers are pretty much all over, but the shorter layers are limited to around the face. The back of the hair is 18 inches. If I move this way, you'll see. And the longest part's at the bottom here. But you're graduating your layers, and the shortest ones are past your chin. You can tuck them in like this. I believe that this style, with all its different layers, can suit most face shapes. And if you look back to my wig review of Juno, which was just straight all the way down and feathered at the bottom, and it had a feathered fringe, I felt that it actually highlighted all of the slight sagging and wrinkling that I have around my chops, which I never used to have. This is literally literally, this is the gift of 2020. It literally just started to materialize overnight. But the layers in this, I feel, have got that lovely lifting power that I appreciate so much, and tend to lift the lines up and give you a little bit more buoyancy in your face. Delightful in every way. Bear in mind, with this, you can actually put it in a ponytail. Can do that. I don't have a hairband, and it would take a little bit of work, but the beauty of this, the amazing beauty of this, is that you can put it in a hairband. Now, I don't know how much pulling this will do, because obviously it's going to be quite heavy, but I bet you there are some interesting ways of doing it quite tightly. And the best thing about this is the thickness of the ponytail. Up here, it's like this. Do any of you admire thick ponytails in other people? I mean, I do. You know, I'm a bit of a hair geek. I'm kind of a bit of a hair creep. You know, I love to look at people's hair and look at the colour. So imagine my delight when I was stalking Mimo wigs, as I do in my spare time, and I came across sale items, and this very topper was actually in the sale. Same colour, same length, but quite a lot of money off. So I thought, oh my goodness, I've bought so many pieces recently. Can my bank balance really take it? But if there's anything that I've learned in my 52 years is that if you see something and it's a really good deal, buy it. Now, the reason I bought one in the same colour is that I'm planning on wearing them in rotation. My understanding of the longevity of the fibres, generally speaking, for daily wear, they're between 3 and 6 months. And I would like to get a good year out of this look. I'd like to get a good year out of this look. And probably, if not later this year, then definitely next year, I will start to experiment with a dark root and blonder look. So possibly for next spring or next summer. Unless, of course, I have a funny 5 minutes and decide, no, I could be run over by a bus tomorrow. I must have that blonde look today, in which case I will order it. You know, life is short. I have a few interests that I'm very passionate about, and wearing enhancement hair is one of them. I dare say I would wear it whether I had thin hair or thick hair. It would still be something that was on my radar, simply because of the absolute thrill and excitement and delight of trying on different things. I say to Steve, how do you feel about your wife wearing this? Do you have any discomfort about it? If he's got any discomfort about it, he really does keep it to himself so well. He's never said anything negative about it. He's only given me encouragement and said that focus on the things that he enjoys. He said that he quite likes the stimulation of seeing different styles and colours. He said it's really nice just seeing a difference in you, a change. A change is quite nice. You know, we've been married for over 20 years, and it feels nice to be able to provide to provide some change and some interest after 20 years of marriage. One of the delights of life on the planet is the monofilament top, and I would like to display it somewhat. So let me show you what you can see. It's really quite, let me just double check. It's really quite a large area of monofilament there. So if you're used to having your side parting, you can absolutely do that with the monofilament. So there is nothing concerning or unusual there. If you know that you're always going to have it on the side or the middle, you can add in some scar tape, which I bought from Amazon a little while ago. It came in little packs, and each bit of tape is about this long, and you sort of cut it to size and just stick it underneath where your parting is going to be. This hair does need a little bit of training to the back. As with most new styles that I've put on out of the box, they love to be face floppers. And they love to have these little bits of flyaway sticking to your face and your lip gloss. But it's a small price to pay, right? A small price to pay for all the other advantages that it gives you. So here it is as a side. Look at how feminine and swooping this is. It highlights and it showcases the highlights so well. You could easily steam this. I've never tried steaming anything before, but if you like it to stand up like that, this would definitely be steamable. It just gives so much voluptuousness to your hair, volume and sheen, that I've so admired on other ladies' hair. You could maybe have one side up or twisted. Fabricating fringe is so amazing with her plaiting and twisting, and she does it with such seeming ease and confidence. There you go, we're back in the 80s. Have a look. I love it when you put it up and then up clip and to take the clip out and then just let it do its own thing. It's utterly delightful, isn't it, this Top Smart? Now this is why I decided to get two, is because I do like to brush the top of it, and I know that that's going to affect the integrity of the fibres. I've so enjoyed getting your comments. You tell me about styles that you're hoping to buy. You give me suggestions and guidance about what to do, and advice about what looks good and what doesn't look good. I've really valued that. I've valued the support from this amazing community of women. I love looking at the Instagram posts and posting online as well. It's made me feel not so alone, because quite frankly, when you're dealing with thinning hair, it's such an unflattering concept to every part of your being, really. To your physical beauty, your confidence, you feel like your personality doesn't shine through. It's been really great knowing that there are lots of other women who are dealing with the diffuse hair loss, but as well as the complete hair loss, including eyebrows and eyelashes. And I so admire the positive approach that they've displayed and the solutions that they offer. The solutions that they offer their life, with the lashes and the brows and everything. And they've reignited a pleasure in makeup for me, because once you have the hair of your dreams and you know tomorrow you're going to have yet more hair of your dreams, it gives you a playfulness and a joy about yourself and life that spills over into other areas. I've always loved socializing. Now let's not think about the situation at the moment with lockdowns, etc. But it was getting to the stage where my heart would sink a little bit, because I knew that although I could do my best with my face and my clothes, I knew that there'd be something there that wasn't quite right with my hair. I always felt that really when I've gone out, I mean, I haven't been out with this, but when I've gone out with other things to events, I felt I've presented myself with more confidence, more friendliness. I haven't been holding back a little bit from people. Do you understand what I mean? Or was it just something that was peculiar to me? I felt that I was able to make connections with people at a deeper level, quicker. And there are things that I am now seeing as challenging moving forward. Now, for example, I'm a member of Meetup, and I recently met somebody over WhatsApp video. I was wearing my Mila. I didn't mention that I was wearing my Mila. Nothing was said because, of course, it's such an amazingly natural style. But there was some talk about us meeting in person in the summer months when the lockdown lifted. So straight away, I had the first thought was, do I say something before I turn up? Or how do I introduce the concept of me wearing additional hair to this social situation? I decided that what might be a nice idea is that the next time we have a video call, I might actually wear another style. Now, I might actually go for this. The nice thing about this is that you could easily say it's extensions. Very, very easily, because believe me, nothing around the top of your head or the front hairline will ever give the game away that this is a topper. Now bear in mind, when I put some glue, I caused a little bit of buckling there, which I know will resolve. So let me stretch that out and come back in again. Although Mila is exactly the same color as this, Mila's knots are very distinct. You can see the knotting quite clearly. You cannot see any knotting here. And I wonder, you know, if you got this in a darker color, whether you'd be able to see knotting. I cannot see any knotting at all. So I think what I might do is I might actually wear this at the next video call. And what I'll say is that I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to say. What do you think I should say? Has anybody else been in that situation? Has anybody else had to bring up or introduce the concept that they wear helper hair or additional hair? I just find it so difficult to tell the truth to somebody new. It's a real stigma. It's a real stigma, and it's a real hurdle for me to just come out and say, well, actually I've got diffuse hair loss and I wear helper hair. Because that's probably how they might perceive it, but it's not really how I feel about it. Because as I said earlier, I would wear hair even if I didn't have any hair loss at all. It's turned from, oh, let's help my hair along. It's turned from that to, wow, look at all these amazing things that I can now do. It's kind of a never-ending kid in a sweet shop scenario. It's like a never-ending conveyor belt of temptation and possibility and joy that I choose to partake in. How can I put all of that into a sentence? I'm a big believer in preparing for things that make you a little bit nervous. Lastly, My goodness, I've talked a lot about this topper. Lastly, security, topper security. Now I believe there are about 6 clips in this topper. Believe me, it doesn't pull at all, no matter what direction I go, up or right down, absolutely nothing at all. Isn't it beautiful that I can do that? Watch this. Nothing, no movement. All of the other 5 clips are really well secured. Now I'm going to try and pull. And if I pulled any harder, I'd start ripping my own hair out. Pull this side. Pull at the back. You know, I wouldn't expect anybody to be pulling my hair harder than that, unless I'm in a fight with someone, in which case all bets are off, and if the topper comes off, so be it. Yeah, incredibly beautifully secure, and this is another plus point over the wigs. I would say that the security is very good, the naturalness is very good. I could clip the entire thing up. Now that's quite good actually, because I would be clipping it half onto the topper and half onto my hair. Now look at this. Bring this down a little for extra femininity. A little bit like Brigitte Bardot. It reminds me of that Brigitte Bardot style. She used to have it really messy and lovely like this. What woman would want to turn this down? No woman. No woman would want to turn it down. So, yeah. This is my review of the Jon Renau Top Smart 18-inch topper from how does it feel point of view, rather than the statistics of the numbers of it. This is what it looks like. This is kind of the layers you get. This is how it makes me feel. This is the confidence it gives me. Those are the things that are important to me. Those are the things I absolutely love feeling and conveying. And I would like to encourage you, if you haven't tried a topper before, I would encourage you to explore this part of your look, what it can give you.